Hello, the channel. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're having a nice Christmas. As you can tell by the slightly husky voice, I have had a touch of the man flu, but it's fine. Still alive and kicking. Still sojourn on in Sorare. So we have on the 31st in Hogmanay another game week coming up, and mainly Contender, a couple other games. So I'll do a preview for that. I'm away for the next 2 days, so I'm not back until the morning of Hogmanay for any sort of updates on Predictify, etc., which we'll come back to in a minute. So anyways, the main point of the next game week is really Contender. All-Star is open as well. We don't have any real sort of specials because of the low amount of games, and there's an under-23s open as well with quite low prizes. So firstly, let's have a look at the overall preview for the teams, then we'll break it down into Contender, and then we'll have a look at the Celtic lineup. Or the Celtic lineup prediction, not the Celtic lineup. If I was Mystic Meg or Brendan Rodgers, then at this stage it probably would help a bit, if I'm honest, but there we go. So, firstly, Arsenal are playing Brentford, but there's no champion, there's no EPL open. I was speaking to Nepenthes about this on Quinny's Go Fuck Fridays, and he feels a wee bit hard done by the fact that there's no sort of cash comp open, etc. So to understand that, I hope that's something that Sorare review. It doesn't really affect me so much. At least obviously there is a place for Arsenal to play, but again it's All-Star and not the sort of champ type rewards, etc. as well. But anyways, 2.12 XG, 41% clean sheet percentage. Looks like Mark Flecken's injured as well, so we'll see if there's any news on him. But Valdemarson could be a decent sort of pickup in terms of under 23s as well. See how long Flecken's out for. Aberdeen against Ross County, 1.98 XG, 44% clean sheet percentage for Aberdeen. I mean, Aberdeen has just not really been reliable of late. Their sort of title challenge, as it were, it's faded. To be honest, probably won't finish second. But they could come back to form again. I think getting Maitov back is obviously important as well. Leeds against Blackburn Rovers, getting no real sort of in-season guys there, so it's kind of all-star fixture. As is Millwall. I think Millwall used to be licensed at one point, so you get a lot of classic cards kicking about. Hearts against Motherwell, 1.68 XG and 39% clean sheet percentage there. And then we've got Hibs against St Johnstone, Kilmarnock against St Mirren. There's nothing else really standing out here, so I'm going to filter this down to Contender because it is the main sort of, the division, Contender and under 23s open for this game week. So Hearts have been very disappointing this season. It's one of those really, they've obviously had all the games in Europe as well. Did okay in Europe. If they'd have got slightly better result in the last game, they would have qualified. So narrowly missed out. But focus got to be coming back to going up through the league. They're going to be struggling for top 6 now. But still a lot of games to go, so if they go on a run, you never know. Hibernian against St Johnstone. Hibs are a bit of a dark horse at the moment. 2 really good results of late, beating Aberdeen away, etc. So yeah, that's quite ominous, I think, for some of the other teams who are above Hibs. I think that if they can build on that momentum, put a string of a couple of games together, then they might still have a top 6 chance as well. If anyone doesn't know, follow SPFL so much, the league splits into top 6 and the bottom 6 when you've got the last 5 games to go, but that's away in Aprilish, so miles and miles and miles away. Kilmarnock against St Mirren again. Kilmarnock are a funny team. They are sometimes capable of the big results. St Mirren, our tails will be up after beating Rangers 2-1. Celtic against Rangers and Dundee United against Dundee. So in terms of Celtic against Rangers, Celtic 1.34 XG and 28% clean sheet percentage, and similar for Rangers. It's a really interesting one, this, because it is at Ibrox as well. You do tend to get a lot of quite good games there at Ibrox, but maybe not good games for SO5. So this could well be a point where, guys who have players out with Celtic and Rangers will look for SO5 results, you never know. I mean, Celtic beat Rangers 3-0 at home earlier on in the season, and that day I think I did pretty well in SO5. But again, that was a home game, all fans behind them. Rangers were in a bit of a different situation then as well. Tails will definitely be up after the cup final, losing in penalties, want to sort of make amends. Dundee United against Dundee will be a cracker as well. Again, pretty close game, and we'll see how that shakes out. So, in terms of the Celtic lineup, you see the other Predictor 5 boys haven't put their lineups up yet. Now, that's fine. I mean, I'm going away for 2 days, and I'm deliberately putting this video up before the next round of games, so I can totally understand why the other guys don't have their lineups up yet. I can also see that I can't count there, so I've got Furuhashi at 70% and Ida at 35%, which is obviously my man flu kicking in, so I'll get that corrected straight after the video. If you're a Predictor 5 subscriber. If you're not a Predictor 5 subscriber, then I would highly recommend it. There's some improvements coming to the site all the time, and yeah, it's not that expensive. For example, you can sign up to Contender only access for a couple of quid a month. If you do sign up, use the code McBriday. So I'll always have the Celtic predictions on the channel, but obviously there'll be updates there, and I'm not going to be doing an updated video on Hugman 8. It's just be this. So Kasper Schmeichel 95%. He's been absolutely brilliant this season. I'm going to say about the guy. I think he'll be maybe a wee bit busier at Ibrox. So potential for some AA. We'll see if it's as an exciting game as the cup final, which was 3 each in normal time. I think Celtic will have learned some stuff from that as well. So we'll see how that plays out. But a couple of goals that Rangers scored looked to be situations that they were planning on based on Celtic's style or patterns of play, the way they play out from the back, the way Greg Taylor takes up positions. Greg Taylor got in at 80%. We'll see how that transpires. I mean, I really like Alex Valley. I think he's an excellent player. He's only 20, so he's not that experienced at this level as well. If it was me, then I would be playing him more at the moment. But Greg Taylor's out of contract. I think maybe the club are trying to get that extended, even if maybe he's slightly rotated more next season. So we'll see what the plans are, the left back position. But I think Greg Taylor is number one left back just now. And before this video, I did predict that Valley might get a game against St Johnstone. So we'll see if that transpires. I've got Trusty at 60%, Scales at 40%. Again, interested to see who starts against St Johnstone today. Trusty did start a cup final against Rangers in the cup. Well, Funner was obviously in the cup because it's the cup final. He came off at half time. So, interesting one. Celtic were struggling a bit playing out from back. I don't think we improved that much at it, but Celtic did come back and they were 3-2 up with a minute or two to go. So, proper interesting one. Trusty's probably a wee bit quicker than Scales, so Brendan might want Trusty in there for the away game, with the slightly higher recovery pace to play a higher line. Carter Vickers 95%. Again, he came back in the last game, strolled it again. I think no matter what happens against St Johnstone today, his minutes will be managed in some fashion. So, Alistair Johnson 75%. Again, I'm doing this in the dark without knowing if he's going to be in the squad today, but I would be fairly sure he's getting saved for this game. When he played in the cup final, he said that he wouldn't have played that game if it wasn't so important. In other words, he was playing for injury. So, Celtic have obviously given him a bit of time after that to recover. Cal McGregor 95%. Again, not much point in discussing anything else. There did score the previous game, I think, against Rangers at Celtic Park as well. So we'll be getting more goals this season. Maybe it'll be a tough midfield battle, I think, this game. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff. Everybody will be off because it's, over a Christmas period, etc. And yeah, I think that's a bank holiday as well. So yeah, I think the atmosphere will be, as always with Celtic Rangers games, but the atmosphere will be really quite tough. And, Rangers tails will be up. We're looking to make amends for being 12 points behind. Arne Engels over Bernardo is a really interesting one. Bernardo did start in the cup final. But Engels come on, got an assist and played pretty well. So I think it just depends how the manager sees it on the day. I do think Rio Hatate will definitely start. Maybe be shocked, excuse me, if he doesn't. Engels and Bernardo's a tougher one. I don't think it's a brilliant game for Engels in terms of like AA, etc. But it's worth remembering that this is an SPFL only contest this game week. So if you get a couple of guys who get decisives, then that could be pretty significant. Engels, when he starts, is on sets, so that could also be significant. Dyson made the 90%. James Forrest injured just now, won't be back for another 4 or 5 weeks. I'd be shocked if Maeda doesn't start. Obviously, between now and Hugmanay, if there's any injury news, I'll put that up. Kelgo Furuhashi, 70%. Adam Ida should be 30, but I can't count this morning. So. Furuhashi Kyogo, we're going to say he's got a brilliant record against Rangers. Ida has had a couple of games, particularly more at home of late. Hasn't really done much in terms of the goal scoring front. We did get a penalty, and whilst Engels was on, Engels still took the penalty, so it's not really good news for Ida either overall. But Furuhashi's record against Rangers can't really be discounted. Excuse me, the man flu's nearly choking me here. And Nicholas Kuhn have got in at 90%. Again, I'd be absolutely shocked if he doesn't start in this game. Celtic's best winger by a country mile. I guess you could class Maeda as a winger, and Maeda's been really good this season. But in terms of out and out winger, beating a man, all that sort of stuff, goals, assists, he's been the main man this season. So there we go. We'll be away soon to update, obviously, that percentage on Furuhashi. So what we've got on Contender, I've got some of my D1s back, so that's pretty nice. We'll see if there's any carnage in the lineup selections today that sort of mucks that up. From a classic perspective, just go have a wee look at the under 23s just now and see who's on. I mean, obviously it's pretty good that these are open. I'd imagine the rewards are pretty poor. Yeah, we have a tier 1 $200. Super Rare is actually pretty decent considering it's a one region sort of game week. And then in Rare, if you've got Division 1 entry, etc. Again, it's tier 1, $125. Should be a star and limited. So it's 2 stars and limited as well. I do have a couple of D1 entries. I say Valdemarson at home could definitely be a shout. I think that we'll need the news in Flecken, but that could be one that people have a look at. I mean, obviously, people don't always want to get involved in Contender, which I understand, if you're not really into that sort of specific division. So let's have a look through and see how the under 23 goalkeepers, etc. are. So Burnley play Stoke, so Trafford is obviously going to be the main guy that people will want to buy or I'll be on. As I said, Valdemarson looks pretty good, so if he's getting a game, that's pretty interesting. Arsenal not really been firing from a goal scoring front, and Brentford obviously at home. SPFL, Josh Ray, it should be the first choice for St Johnson, so some people might look to pick him up. Wrong button. And out with that in the SPFL is not a goalkeeper, so it's like a sort of free goalkeeper contest there. Let's have a quick look and see who I've got available myself. I think it's just Valdemarson. Barzic's a pain in the ass because he was somebody I was going to be counting on for this. But if you look, I could have had a under 23 super rare outing, etc. with Barzik. Had that all planned out, and he's been dropped. So I did pick up Ross Sinclair as well. He was kind of staying in over Josh Ray. Again, that's not worked out, but yeah, that's what it is. So I do have 2 options for Valdemarson. I'm a wee bit gutted and I picked up the super rare. I did actually have a timer on for a super rare auction recently. I was just thinking it could be a good long term one with getting games for Iceland and everything as well. But anyway, it is what it is. I guess I could take a bit of a gamble on Barzik starting, or just go out without a goalkeeper. I mean, there might be guys who don't have good outfield options, etc. In fact, I think I'm one of those. Don't think I've got good outfield options either. So, in terms of selections, I'm not going to go into this too much detail because I haven't actually decided yet. I mean, I think I'll still be running my Celtic stack personally. I do have some options here as well. I could run, for example, an alternative. So, in limited, for example, I've got a Mytov and at home against Ross County. That's definitely a decent shout. In terms of the other positions, obviously Jamie McGrath's a good option. So, I've got him, could run him. Ross County can be a bit leaky. I mean, they did concede a lot of goals against Celtic and against Rangers as well. So, they can be a strong team at home, but can be a wee bit leaky too. So, you can think outside the Celtic and Rangers sort of games as well. We might want to have a look at guys like Jamie McGrath, Keskinen, Mytov, obviously. I'm not sure. Rubizic, I think, sometimes scores pretty well for Aberdeen. Hearts have been doing a wee bit better recently. I guess Shankland's pretty affordable these days because he's been crap this season, but he's definitely more affordable. I'm not sure if Hibs have got many good sort of SO5 type players, but it's pretty open game week. So if you call it right in terms of win to nil or maybe get a defender with clearance off the line or whatever, then it could be a good game week for you, and the prizes are still pretty decent considering that it is just SPFL only. So there we go. I'm going to end on that note whilst I still have my voice left. Going away for a day or two, so I think I'll be going to find the steam room and the sauna and try and get rid of all this lurgy from my system. It's the last video of 2024. I just want to say thanks very much everyone for watching the videos. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. If you've got to this point, please do hit like and subscribe, because on YouTube that doesn't actually cost you anything and it does help the channel. In terms of overall statistics, the channel's not made any real money in 2024, although I did get a small payment in from YouTube, which will pay for a couple of Guinness over Christmas. But yeah, I mean, by the time you add up the costs of things like software and having to get help with thumbnails and giveaways and all that type of stuff, then definitely losing money. But I'm not really too concerned about that. It's one of those, I want to just make sure that everybody's got all the information they can get on Celtic, and Celtic are by far and away at the moment the best contender team. That can change. Things can change over time. Used to be other teams. Dynamo used to be amazing, and things can happen. But for the moment, Celtic are definitely extremely strong in that department. So it's good to help everyone with the information that's needed for Celtic, and I've had lots of good feedback on that, and it feels quite good to sort of share the love of Celtic with everybody as well. So I'm going to stop rabbiting on now anyway. Hope everyone has had a good year. If not, then let's look forward to 2025. First and foremost, let's try and enjoy things. We'll see what the news is from Sorare on proposed updates or iterations or developments on the site, and we'll go from there. But for one last time in 2024, we end the game week with customary fashion. Good luck and go fuck.